Right, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're all doing well. The job I'm going to show you was a job I first fixed a while ago. I actually messed this one up a little bit if I'm being completely honest, but you guys know me. I show you the good, the bad and the ugly face on this channel. I didn't quite get my first fix bang on, so I had to move my basin pipes across a little bit. It wasn't the end of the world, but it was annoying, and obviously it is nice to get things right. The water heater was also super tight as well because they wanted it in the corner in a cupboard, and it was slightly bigger than I thought. It's always the way when you don't have your stuff on site when you first fix, you make little mistakes. But anyway, it looked all right when it was done. When I first went, on the first day, I was expecting the floor and everything to be down to get my pan in. So I ended up having to go back when the floor was down to put my pan in, because it's a much better job, it's much neater. So yeah, hopefully we enjoy this one. It was a little bit of a struggle at the start, but yeah, I think it looked okay at the end. I have got to still go back on this job and fit. There's 3 sinks to fit, or 2 little wash hand basins and a sink. So yeah, let me know what you think. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll get straight into it. We are back on this job that we came and first fixed ages ago now. I'm still working in the dark. I did ask if they've got all the lights on, and said they had, but they clearly haven't. So I've just hung my keep torch up there, so that'll do me. What we've got to do is we've got a dock end pack to fit in here. That was just a temporary toilet. We've got dock end toilet going over there, so it's like a comfort height one. We need that 500 off the wall. I will explain as we're going along. We've got a basin, and then we've got water heater. Let me come out the light. I don't know how much I'll get done today because I've only just come to have a look because I said it was all ready, but I knew it wouldn't be. You know how it is. So yeah, I've got a few hours anyway. I'll crack on with it for a bit, and I'll sort of explain the process of what a dock end pack is. Well, not really a process, is it? What a dock end pack is, and just sort of the measurements and stuff. I don't remember seeing another video on YouTube of dock end packs. So if you do find this one enjoyable, make sure you hit the like button, and yeah, we'll crack straight on with it. This is a dock end pack, so it's a disabled toilet pack. So you've got your drop down rails, you've got your basin and your toilet. So you've got set dimensions as to where you need to fit stuff, obviously for building regs. Can you see? So at the centre of our toilet needs to be 500mm from the wall. That's the crucial one for a start that we need. We don't need to worry about the rails yet. And then in front of that pan, so the pan will be 750 out, and normally they are. And then you've got 140, between 140 and 160 to the edge of the basin. Now the basin I've got given is a little bit weird. I've never seen, it's actually quite a large basin for a dock end pack, but obviously that's what they've sent, so that's what we'll be fitting. And then in here we've got obviously toilet seat, there'll be all the rails, and that's the cistern. So yeah, that's the pack that I've been given to, you know, sort of fits. That's what I'll do. We've also got a tap. I don't know if that one's thermostatic. It's RAS approved. It might. Some of them are just the ones where they're not truly thermostatic, so it's just got like a stop on the hot to get it, so it doesn't mix too much hot water in with the cold, if that makes sense. So it'll start on cold. Just have a quick look at it. So yeah, I'm guessing feeling of the weight of it, it's not going to be thermostatic, but you can have a look at it. Anyway, that's what they've sent me to fit. So quality flexes. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll set the toilet up for a start, and then I normally work everything out from the toilet. That panel on the right hand side, let me just unhook that, is for our water meter on our stop taps in there. So I've just knocked the water off, and then they're going to have to put like an access panel there, aren't they, and then plaster that bit in. But yeah, we'll check to make sure we've got our drain in the right place for a start, and then we'll just get this toilet fitted quickly. So that is near as damn at 500mm, so that's going to be perfect for us. But all we need to do is get a pan connector. I need to go back up onto the roof and get a short piece of soil pipe out to push into there, because I can't put a pan connector directly into a socket fitting. Silicone lubricant grease. The only bit of soil pipe I had was off my tube rack where I keep my copper. But it'll be fine for that. Anything, just, well, it just needs a bit of soil pipe in there, otherwise that thing will be loose. So I just need to work out how much I'm going to cut off that long pan connector. So if we just sit the pan. The other trouble is the van, you have to park on the roof. It's like a 10-minute walk. Not complaining, it keeps me fit. So yeah, we'll just, in fact, squeaking a bit in it. I'll go all the way in. That's a tight one.
Obviously I'm just going to sit my cistern on and then work out how much I need to cut off that pan connector at the bottom. So they sent no cistern internals. Obviously normally you'd have a ball valve, a siphon, close couple kit and a blank, but for some reason we haven't got one on this job, which is good. But I can still sit the cistern because sometimes these sit a little bit further forward. So yeah, even that wants to come a little bit further forward. I can gain that on my pan connector. But if I'd cut that back, you see, even that wants to come a little bit further forward. So yeah, I'll have to ring them up and find out why I've got no gubbins. It's as much as I can do with that toilet until I get some stuff. But I just got, at least I've got it positioned. I normally use them long pan connectors because they normally fall bang on, which that one has, to be fair. So I just rang them up and said, oh, they don't come with internals. This is what every one I've ever fitted has. So 750, and then we need to be between 140 and 160 in front for the basin. So I'll just mark 750 on that wall, and then we'll just put a line across. Hate it when like supplies try and pop you off. The trouble is as well, the box has already been opened and retaped, so it could easily be that somebody's been in there and. But I want here when they delivered it. So that's 160. So the edge of our basin, wants to be there. So the centre of it, centre of the basin. It's a bit of a weird basin this as well, I'm not going to lie. They're normally a little bit smaller than this. So centre of it wants to be about 220. Across. So we got our waste in a bit the wrong place, haven't we? I think it's because the basin's bigger. That's what I'm blaming anyway. Can you guys even see? You probably can't even see what I'm rambling on about. So that is the centre of the basin. So it needs to be, what is it off the top of my head? I think between 720 and 740, and we'll check that. That's 740. I'm sure it's 740 is the top. So somewhere there, that's centre, that's top. We'll get our brackets in the wall and get this fixed. So all I'm doing is measuring across from my brackets. They are 110 apart, so that'll be 55mm. Quite close together. I'll just make you 110. And then we just measure down from the top, which they are 55mm again. That gives us our bracket positions. I'll be there. The problem is with having stuff missing as well, it means I've got to come back again now. And it's a nightmare to get parked. But we have to deal with it, don't we? But I'd have to come back anyway. But it's not the point, they don't know that, do they? I'm probably not even going to fit that toilet. Just because I don't know what's going on with the floor. Well, these walls are all double ply lined out for us. Obviously just burn your drill out doing that. Wouldn't happen if it was Milwaukee. Nothing wrong with Makita. And nothing wrong with any tools really, as long as it does the job. The only reason I got Makita was because when I first started, they were the best value for money. I thought, obviously, I didn't have a lot of money. And to me, it was the perfect kit. So this is just a wash basin hanging bracket set thing. So all you do is wind your studs in, and then you've got 2 plastic washers and then 2 nuts. Just realised you can't see a thing what I'm doing, but not moving the camera now. Let's bring that way like that. And I'll put a bit of light on for you. I will leave the light on. We guessed them right, didn't we? You know what, my pipes are miles away, aren't they? I'm going to move them. I'm going to move them. Just level it up, make sure it's solid. What you've got to remember is when you're doing it like this, people are going to be leaning on this. So that needs to be, you know, bomb-proof, because you don't want that coming off the wall. I know there's rails. That's why it's not so good that it's so big, because it's got so much leverage on it. But I suppose it makes it better for... Can't go too much more than that. That's 730. Yeah, 740, that's fine. How am I going to do this neat under here? I'm not doing them like that, if that's what you think. I've got a couple of bent isolators, which I could... They'd go like that. Which I could file that down, make that flat, and put them on there, and then just move them pipes across and try and tuck them flexes out of sight. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, and then bring the waste pipe below it. As I say, let's do that. End up on one of them, I don't know, you see them Facebook pages and stuff, don't you, or TikTok pages, rough plumbing. I've seen worse. What I'll do is nip to the van, get my bender out, drill a couple of holes here, fish across, a couple of speed fit elbows behind there, and then we'll just patch that in. And then the waste, I might have to cut a little bit out, but we'll do something. I'll see if I've got a waste kit as well in the van, because I've not sent one. But yeah, we'll do something like that with it, I think. That'll look alright. And then obviously rails either side, mirror above. Job done. Annoyed about the toilet internals, but at least, well, they've asked me to fit that, but to me the floor, to me that's not the finished floor, is it? It's going to be latexed and vinyl, so it really don't want fitting anyway. That bit will just be boxed in, and then we can have a look at the wall treater. I'm just going to put a couple of bends on, if I can remember how to use this bender. I don't normally use this one, but it's just a bit lighter than when you carry it a long way. So this is just the Hillmore one, but the 2-piece. I'm just going to put a bend on this piece of pipe just to get it, so I can sort of fish it behind the wall with a bit of luck. Just use the Hillmore. What's going on with that? $90-ish, isn't it, that? That'll do, mate. And we'll drill a little hole. It's actually, well, it's not bad. That'll be alright. We're just going to sort of try and fish that behind the wall if we can. So I'll drill a little hole in the middle, and then we'll tuck them flexes up behind the sink so you can't see them, or basin. Shouldn't say sink, I'm a plumber. In fact, that's what you should do, innit? Like, cool stuff, the wrong stuff. And then you get loads more, everybody coming in and saying, oh, you've called that, you know, I'll call this what should I call this? I don't know. I don't even know what to say wrong. But then you get loads of people commenting saying, oh, you shouldn't call that that. And then it boosts you up the algorithm. Because when you get people commenting, it's an interaction, and YouTube like that. A bit of fishing. Hopefully I don't drop this. Pipe collar should cover my holes. Well, nearly. Yeah, that'll be right. What I can do is stick them back as well. I'll get the other one in. I just swung them pipes across best I can. It was a little bit awkward, to be honest. But what I wanted to try and do is tuck them out of the way. Tuck them out of the way so you can't see them. So what I'm going to do now is just jet glue them up. These are just bent isolators. I don't think they do a flat face version of these, so what I've done is I've filed the ends down. So when we tighten the flexes on, it shouldn't cause a problem with a bit of luck. And when we nip them up, we'll not go mental. That'll do. I've only been working here an hour and a half, and I've just found the fuse board, and some of the lighting circuits says you can switch them on. So yeah, if only I'd known that like an hour and a half ago, I wouldn't have been working in the dark. But hey, yeah, you live and learn, don't you? You get over stuff. Unbelievable. I did film it, but for some reason the GoPro went flat. So you might see some of it, you might not. Depends when it went flat, really, doesn't it? A thingy and a thingy, we're getting technical now. A thingy and a thingy. Make sure you don't cross them. We'll give that a wipe off, it's just my lucky hands. That should all be well beyond. Good in the place. Yeah, that'll be alright. We've just got a little bit of patching up to do. If that's the worst we ever do, we'll be lucky. Can't do much more with the toilet. I can have a look at the grab rails. I don't normally do them, I normally leave them to the joiners. The walls are all plied out, but what we'd have one grab rail there, one grab rail there, either side of the basin, drop down rail there, one on the back of the door, and I'm pretty sure one more somewhere else, but I can't remember. Might have a look at the water heater to get that on. At least Sparky will know where to bring his point of money. This is the water heater I've got to fit. It's a Hyco 30 litre unvented. It obviously hangs on the wall. We've obviously got temperature pressure relief at the top. That's a 7-bar 90 degree one. They've made a mess with the Loctite. Hanging bracket on the back. That's obviously temperature, so you can adjust your temperature. That will light up when it's wired up. And then we've got hot and cold out the bottom. They do send you some dielectric bushes to go onto them, because what will happen is if you put your main line straight onto there, with it being like a, I think they're like a steel glass line tank, you can end up with corrosion. So the plastic bush basically stops the corrosion between the two distiller metals. So all we'll do is Loctite them on. But no, there is actually a washer in there, to be fair, so they probably will just tighten up, and then we'll Loctite female lines onto that bush. So that just breaks the continuity, as I say. You get expansion vessel with it. That is probably like a 3.5 litre one, is it? What? How many litres is that one? Bigger than 2, by the looks of it anyway. It doesn't matter, so it's come with the kit. That can go in the bin. We don't fit flexes, that's for the expansion vessel. I just hard pipe mine. I don't even think you can use flexes on expansion vessels anymore, to my knowledge. They've sent a composite valve. What I'll end up doing is just reducing that down to 15mm. For a unit this size, a 15mm intake is plenty, but these are just standard valve across the range, I guess, on all their unvented cylinders. So we'll just probably get some reducing, them inline ones that just tighten up. And what else do we get? It actually sends you 2 ton dishes. You can do it with one. Bracket for your expansion vessel. Oh, they do send you. That's what I was on about. Use some of them in there, just reduce it back down to 15mm, because as I say, that'll be a standard size combination valve for all the units. So apart from that, that's pretty much the kit. Straightforward enough to fit, obviously. Hot in, cold through this. That, and 300 fall into the ton, 300 fall below the ton dish. And so you can join your D1s together as long as they're no further than 600. so it's pretty much standard unvented. What I do with these discharges, because I first fixed it in push fit and clipped it every 300mm, because push fit is the temperature one, it's the polypropylene, is it? I can't remember what they call it, but it's anyway, you can't use solvent for unvented discharges because obviously it'll melt. I always use a mechanical, then I put a 35 to 22 reducer in there, and what I'm actually using is this one. It's the dry trap tongue dish, so it's just got a little flap inside there to stop smells coming back up, so it operates on full bore, prevents odours, and then safe and visible means of discharge. So it's just a tongue dish with basically a flap inside, so it's like the Het VO ones. I think they're completely approved. They're RAS approved. Whether they're G3 compliant, they should be, you would imagine. But yeah, that's what I've used in the past, and nobody's ever said anything, so that's what we're using. Right, it says you need to leave 200mm above this unit, but this one's not as bad because you can lift this tile out. That leaves me 200mm, but it leaves me a little bit tight, so I'm actually going to reduce it to like 160. I guess it's so you can unwind that temperature pressure relief out the top, because that'll go in probably 6 inches. So yeah, if you ever need to get that out, you can always just pop that tile out and it'll lift straight up. I don't think it'll be a massive issue. Right, that's got the water heater on the wall. That's as much as I can do today. Still don't know what's happening in these sprinkler systems yet. It's supposed to be coming home to them, so there'll be a bit of patching up there, won't there? Yeah, I've got some other jobs to go and look at, but don't know how much more footage I'll be able to get. I just came here just to, well, they've been not putting me under pressure, but you know, it's like, oh, when you're coming back, we need the toilet and that fitting. I'll probably pop back in a couple of days or so to finish off. I've got some rads to go and fit in a school. They've been chasing near the end of the holidays in it. Everybody's been chasing, putting them under pressure, but it is what it is. You can only be in one place at once, can't you? I just try and pacify people. But yeah, what was I going to say? I have no idea. I'm going to start getting tidied up anyway. That's all plumbed in. We've just about got regs. We've got about 350 below that on that D2. I've just connected the two together at the top. And yeah, all plumbed in. Toilet's all in now as well, floor's all down. I've obviously just got the skirting board to do and that, and then the basin's all in as well, so everything's working. But yeah, I've done my best with that. Had a little bit of a leak on one of the inset reducers, but I just sorted it, so yeah. And they're going to put this in a cupboard anyway. I need to pick up one of the pan fixing kit because I only brought one with me and it's obviously double screw. But the floor all went down before the pan went in, and then I just put the pan connector back through and then just piped it up. It looks fine, to be fair. I've got a service valve on that side and you can't actually see it from the front anyway, the cold feed, so I think that'll be fine.